Today in the crypto space, we see the market going sideways. Bitcoin at about $26,300 and Ethereum hovering around that $1,600 mark. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, are pretty much a mix of green and red throughout the market. Chainlink looking pretty strong right now. Radix coming down to those lower levels. The question is Bitcoin going to take a bigger dip so that we can buy at lower levels, or are we going to go up for another rally to the upside where we can take some profits? In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that desperately needs an update since it was looking very bullish today. And of course, that project is called Taraxa. Tara is the ticker. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of that volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto, news, and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below or hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Feel free to join that Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha trade setups, fundamentals, learning material. And just recently, I did post, or I set up a voting platform, a voting scenario where you can go on there and vote for your most bullish bull run projects. And that way, as a community, we can build a nice list of projects that we could anticipate doing very well for the bull run. Go check it out. It's on the Discord. I think it's going to give us some valuable information as far as what the overall members think we should be scaling into for the up and coming bull run. All right, let's continue here. Let's take a look at the general market. We'll take a look at the top 100, and then we'll look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator to see where this market could be going based on Bitcoin's lead. And then, of course, guys, I want to give you an update on Terra. Guys, if you followed the channel a couple of days ago, I did release a video on Taraxa. Now, based on the TA 4 days ago, things have happened. So I feel like we need to give an update. I usually don't update this quickly, but I may as well, given that Taraxa today is up approximately 20%. Okay, so this is an important time right now if you're in Taraxa to kind of be very careful, because at the end of the day, you're here to make gains, and if you're in some gains right now, protect those gains. Part of the biggest thing that I preach here on the channel is to protect the gains. Capital preservation, of course, is very important. It's number one. But then after that, once you're starting to, appreciate some gains within a trade, protect those gains. The market's going to want to take them back. All right, guys. So let's, quickly scan through this market. What can we see? Bitcoin getting a bit of relief to the upside. So is Ethereum. BNB, not so much, but doing a very similar thing, getting a bit of a bounce. And as you scroll through the market, this is what we're seeing. Polkadot getting a bounce. Polygon getting some support. So very similar. And Chainlink continues to the upside, up approximately 13% from its bottom, looking pretty good because we know that range was very tight for the last little while. And when I say little while, I mean about 500 days, give or take. It's been in a sideways consolidation for very, very long. However, Chainlink is still in that sideways consolidation. Now, the question is, did we break out? Are we getting close to a breakout? Are we at range highs? What's going on with Chainlink? And of course, I'm going to put link on the list for tonight's live stream. And of course, if you have any projects you want me to cover in tonight's live stream, I'll put them in top priority. Okay, so make sure you join and make those requests, and I'll put them in priority. All right, let's continue here. Sideways, a bit of relief to the upside, give or take. You see a lot of dips are still happening. Some bullish projects are definitely waking up. We have Aptos getting a nice little pump to the upside, 5%, give or take. What else do we have here? Maker looking pretty strong, up 3%. But as I'm scrolling, you notice that there's a lot of dips still happening, right? There's not real big movements here. Like we have 3% dips, we have 2% dips, we have 2% rallies. In IMX, another project that we covered a couple of days ago, up approximately 3.5% as we speak, doing pretty good there, not too bad. What else do we have here? Injective looking pretty strong. I like Injective. I'm looking for opportunities. Render taking a big dip here, approximately 4%. I see it like one of the bigger dips. Obviously Radix, guys, look at Radix dipping down to lower levels significantly. Yeah, it does have an upgrade. It does have an upgrade around the corner. I think it might be out tomorrow or something like that, but that's a good thing to understand, that we have a buy the rumor sell the news event. As soon as the news comes around, there's no incentive to hold and rally up. And short-term gains, people take profits. That's the reality. So we're down approximately 9.5%, back to the accumulation range at the bottom. So I'm happy about that because I can scale in a little bit more. And if we come down even further, I'll be scaling and deploying more capital. Frax share looking strong here. A nice little pump to the upside, 4%. What else do we have here? But we have what's going on here with WeMix, down 12%, of course, after a rally of approximately 70%, give or take. Guys, you can expect this thing to retrace. That's the only most healthy thing you can think of. And of course, general consensus right now is, yeah, we're going sideways. Yes, some of these tokens are in a bit of relief mode, getting a bit of a bounce. But generally speaking, guys, we haven't really left the station. In my opinion, we are still in that transitionary phase. We get deep retracements, nice little rallies with deep retracements, meaning that we end up going sideways for a significant amount of time. And we can see that happening with a lot of the projects that we've been covering here on the channel. Now, of course, we have projects like Taraxa, which is the project for today. Of course, we're going to take a look at Taraxa today, but what could Taraxa be doing in the short term? A nice little rally up, 20%. Is it going to continue? All-time highs price discovery? Maybe. But the probability is, guys, if Bitcoin dips and Bitcoin comes down to lower levels, none of these altcoins are going to continue going rogue without Bitcoin showing the way. All right, so guys, I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin. What's going on here with Bitcoin? Let's take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and then we'll jump into the Terra chart. What's going on here? A bit of rejection here. Guys, this was textbook, exactly what we expected. Let's look at these momentum oscillators. We're still in the chop zone on Bitcoin, which means we could get a bit of a bounce right now. That's the reality. As long as the daily's still within the chop zone, the 50% RSI, I do not feel like we're out of the woods yet. We're gonna potentially go sideways here and bounce around this 200 daily EMA. Yes, we got a bit of a rejection, but why not a bit of a bounce, actually get rejected right underneath and then continue down, which is very possible. So what I do see here is the momentum still trekking to the upside, and we got the MACD slightly rolling over. Okay, so let's look at this in a little bit more detail. Now you can see that over time the volume is definitely consolidating. The momentum right here on the RSI, I still believe that what the momentum eventually would like to do is to get overbought. Right now we came from oversold. Let's get to overbought. What that means is that we need to potentially come down right now, get a confirmation low, a higher low, pick up some more bulls at these lower levels, and then finally make another impulsive move to see if we can break out of resistance at about 27,140. If we do break, I'm expecting the next level of resistance to be right around the zone, about 29,000 at the point of control. Slightly below it is 28,800, give or take. At the top of this volume gap, as you can be seen, there's a bit of a weak spot. So what are we going to do right here? Guys, in my opinion, Bitcoin is in hard mode currently. We're in the chop zone. MACD is rolling over, potentially, getting for an EMA across. It could be a fake-out. It could be do one of these, come down, print a bit of red, and then continue to the upside, get back into the bullish control zone. In my opinion, I think that's what I expect to see, is Bitcoin get a bounce here, a stronger bounce out of this $25,000 move. Now, could we come back down? Could this be enough? It could be the case, but probability is based on the daily momentum. I'm expecting a continuation up. Let's quickly get into the 4-hour, and this is giving me that bit of that confirmation as well. We're finally completely reset, completely oversold here on the RSI, which is of course the momentum oscillator of choice. And since we are full reset, the likelihood now is that we should be looking for bullish divergence, for another impulsive move to the upside. Nice momentum move to the upside. This was the bearish divergence. We fell. Fine. We didn't even come down that deep, you got to admit, right? If you look at previous divergences or previous overbought conditions, and you look at the impulsive moves down, here we didn't even get oversold, and look how deep this was. Look how strong this move was, right? A lot more volume, a lot more conviction. Now, where we are right now, even though we got a full reset, the price action barely registered, which means that potentially this EMA cross on the MACD that we can potentially see very soon, and we see higher highs on these two clusters of histogram bars while the price action is coming down. That is class A bullish divergence that's happening right here on a very good support line based on the point of control at about 26,000. So we're talking about short-term move now to the upside in the immediate short term, looking for that confirmation lows. Really good. We could come down a little bit more. We can even come down as low as 25,700, give or take, based on this gap of volume right here. get a bit of support, get some signs of bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which would be epic, maybe even as low as the 1-hour, which we're not seeing right now. So be very careful here trading the 1 hour, but on the 4-hour is not bad. Let's see what kind of move we make to the downside and how the price responds. We might make a lower low on the price action, which is fine, and as long as we make a higher low on the other side, that would be class A bullish divergence with a indication that the MACD is looking for also for a momentum shift to the upside, and then potentially look at this as a massive cup and handle. Not massive because we're on the 4-hour, but you get what I mean. Nice rounded bottom, nice rejection pretty much at previous highs, not so clean but somewhat there. We got a nice volume gap above that we're trying to respect, a bit of a retracement that is not super deep. More or less, we don't want to break below of the 50% retracement on this potential cup and handle, so we're okay as long as we don't create lower lows, major lower lows here. We should be okay for a little bounce to the upside, and then maybe test this neckline for a nice breakout to the upside. So this would be an epic scenario to expect Bitcoin to make a move to finally get over, again on the daily, to get overbought, let it get overbought, guys, and then we can start thinking about, you know what, are we going to roll over again? Are we finally going to get rollover? Because look what happened last time we got overbought. Right, this area rolled over, this area rolled over, and we're waiting for another impulsive move to get overbought, maybe another lower high, confirmation high, and that's when you're gonna be like, okay, we're making lower lows and lower highs. Maybe the next move to the downside finally gives us that lower low. So lower high, lower low, trend, change of trend, basically pivot point. This is what it looks like, maybe a distribution level right here. Okay, so that's my take on Bitcoin. I am short term, I'm expecting this thing to come down eventually if it continues this way, and then that means that altcoins will take a bit of a hit. Now, speaking of altcoins, of course, today's video is all about Terra, and if Terra continues going against Bitcoin, what's going to happen if Bitcoin does drop? Let's take a look at Terra for a second here. Of course, we want to be one step ahead, guys. This was one of the most tricky trades to actually implement, but at the end of the day, it works out, right? A bit of TA. Let's see what's happening here. We got volume on this move, which is nice. Guys, understand that the daily is not really giving us much. Okay, that's the reality. The daily, what it did help us do is identify levels of support that we should have bought the dip. One here and one here. Both areas right now, if you were able to DCA into these zones, and these zones were here a long time ago, guys, on the channel, on the Discord, I do have all my charts posted, and obviously all the videos that I talked about with Taraxa around this level and making this TA with you guys. Go check them out because it's there and I explain it very detailed, and we're getting a nice sign of bullish divergence here, but only on the 4-hour. On the daily, you can see where's the momentum. It's in the chop zone, a very, very risky, tough place to actually get into a trade. But look at the MACD. The MACD is giving us a bit of an indication that we're looking for a divergence. Class A, bullish divergence, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the MACD, and multiple drives of it. And a nice EMA cross to the upside with a green histogram bar looking up. Guys, we've been talking about this for the last little while. In fact, 4 days ago, I released a video on Taraxa giving you an update on what I thought. And previous to that, I kept up with Taraxa, especially live. But you guys knew as we were going through accumulation, as we were going through the sideways action based on the daily, I was talking about the range where we should be buying the dip, and it is at range lows, of course, at levels of support. We got that bounce, but not based on daily TA because we're in the chop zone. It's all about that 4-hour. Okay, so let's get into the 4-hour quick and see what's going on. And you can see that based on the 4-hour momentum, the price was coming down while the momentum was slightly upward sloping over time. And what really, triggered it was this low confirmation low, a confirmation low, a higher low, and a higher low on the RSI. And look at the MACD giving us the same confirmations. Look at the histogram bars. Look at the EMAs. As the EMAs were coming down, they were basically price action was coming down and the EMAs were moving up. Class A bullish divergence everywhere on the 4-hour at good levels of potential support. So this is where it's at. Now, if you were able to scale in, now you can anticipate what I'm going to say. Obviously, guys, one of the biggest thing that I always mention, protect the gains. Protect your initial investment, of course, is top priority, but protecting the gains is also equally important. Why? Because if you're a trader, you're here for the gains, right? And if you're a long-term investor, fine, you're also in it for the gains, but do you want to give the gains back to the market? And that's the reality. right now we are pretty much double topping. Okay, we're double topping. We're almost in the 4 hour is almost in the overbought condition. The MACD is looking super bullish still. EMA is facing up, green histogram bars to the upside. Now, are you going to completely exit positions, guys? Obviously, if you're in some good gains, let's see what we could be in. Let's be modest about this measurement, because I don't want to sound like a moon boy or anything, but let's say you're able to get an average position right smack in the middle of these two green arrows, okay, to where we are absolutely right now. You're up 23%. Those are double-digit gains. Those are a great opportunity to de-risk. If you went in with a bit of leverage, you could have doubled your money, even with a 5x. Think about 4x, pretty much. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now, right now, we're getting that overbought scenario. One of my rules, once we get into those overbought conditions, that is where I start to de-risk. Guys, there's nothing wrong with taking profits. As we speak, you can see that Terra is pulling back ever so slightly. We're getting a bit of a retracement. We're getting a bit of a pullback. And here we are on the 4 hour. You see this volume gap is pretty much respected. I don't chart out the volume gaps on the 4 hour, only on the daily, because I want bigger picture moves. But right now on the short term, on the 4 hour, it's not a bad time to have a plan for de-risking. Do I see any signs of bearish divergence? No, I don't. So this thing could continue, no doubt, until I see signs of weakness from the bulls. There's no sense of thinking that this thing can't continue going up. At the end of the day, the real area of rejection is right here. Why? Because of the previous high. If we break above this high, guys, we're making a higher high. That's a higher high, a local high. A higher high means we're breaking structure out of this downward sloping channel. And it's very possible that we get to the zone. This is where I would be completely de-risking. And obviously right now with these double-digit gains, guys, in the short term, this is great. It's epic. So what I would really like to see is, let's say that we do get a nice retracement to the upside. Okay, this Fibonacci, I'm not sure what it's measuring currently. So let's get it out of the way and replot a Fibonacci. We're going to use Fibonacci swing high. This is the wrong one, guys. This is extension levels. Give me a second. I like this Fibonacci. Swing high to swing low. And you can see this is the golden pocket. Very confluent with this zone right here. This breakout zone, this breakdown zone. Okay, so this is what I'm really, really worried about. But where we are right now is quite important. Why? It's the 0.38. The 0.38 usually defines, basically 0.38 and below defines a very healthy breather. That's all it is. It's not even really a retracement. At this level, it's just a breather. It's meant for profit taking. This is absolutely normal to see a consolidation here for a pattern to build like this. Maybe a pennant of some sort. It could be a triangle and a symmetrical triangle. Some sort of triangular pattern would kind of give us some data to suggest, look, are we going to get a continuation to the downside? Or maybe are we going to get a pop to the upside if we consolidate here and it forms a cup and handle or something like that. Really, what it looks like as we speak is a bit of an Adam and Eve. V recovery right here, nice rounded bottom, and now testing the neckline. Okay, so this is something to understand, that if we break this neckline, it's very likely that we start getting to these higher levels. Okay, so DCing at this level was crucial. Now, based on the 4 hour, again, I wouldn't let any of these gains go. Take a bit of profit, trail up the stop loss, use the 200 EMA on the 4 hour as a bit of support. You want to walk away with something here because you're up approximately 23% within an average position of these lows if you happen to scale in, and especially that now we are overbought. You don't want to leave them. You don't want to leave your profits ready. Your profits only realize once you take profits. Literally, get them in stable. Okay, so let's zoom out in the daily again, just to kind of recap. The daily still in the chop zone, so anything could happen here. We could chop away here and come back down and retest lower levels and give ourselves another opportunity to reaccumulate. This is why I'm saying, guys, protect those gains, because you might be able to re-enter the same position, the same buy order that you have currently at lower levels once again, and trading the range might be the best way to do it. Could we get back to all-time highs? Could we basically blast right through? Could the momentum get overbought once again? It's very possible as well. So this is the thing here about the chop zone, but the probability is that we're looking for oversold conditions. That's the probability, and we do end up seeing momentum shifts going from overbought to oversold, oversold to overbought, back and forth, and a little bit of price action in the middle is designed to get traders wrecked. That's the truth. The chop zone gets you wrecked. Even here, if you don't get good confirmations, you could get wrecked. But this is at least giving you a bit of an indication. This was the time to go short. And now is this the time to go long? Maybe on the 4-hour, but not the daily. All right, guys, thank you for stopping by. If you haven't yet, do the channel a huge favor and slap the like button. If you want to follow me on those socials, the links are in the description below. Follow me on that Discord, guys. The Discord's a great community. And of course, tonight, see you tonight at 7:30 Eastern. If you have any projects that you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to make those requests live tonight at 7:30 Eastern. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.